I think there's a certain nimbleness that's required to adjust to all of these different changes and transitions. You know, when I worked in Los Angeles, I never touched a camera because I wasn't in the union that would have allowed me to do that. So I had the luxury of having camera operators, and luckily I paid attention enough to the point where when I had to move into an area where I was sometimes shooting my own work, that I knew what I was doing. I had always had editors, and it wasn't until about 3 years ago when I met this man and was his graduate teaching assistant on his course and learned that I was going to have to teach Final Cut Pro that I actually had to take the time to learn how to do that. But I knew the aesthetic principles of editing. I knew what's a good story and what's a not, and what is a story that doesn't work.
I think one thing that can happen with multimedia storytelling is that you end up trying to do everything, and then you don't do anything well. So we decided to get really good at one thing, which was storytelling. Little did we know that when you get good at storytelling, everything else can apply. So this is a story that I think is a perfect example of that. This is a story we just produced in the last couple months. It's a story about two women who are entomologists who are very, very, very into bugs. They love bugs.
People think that bugs are dirty, that they're gross. If you have bugs in your house, it means that your house is dirty and you are gross. And that's not true. What do the bug chicks do?
Well, we teach about insects and spiders.
And we do it in a quirky...
We're a little weird.
We are slightly strange.
All right. Are we ready? Are we ready?
We have some tarantulas.
What?
That's the sound. Oh, look at that. That's the sound you want, that's the sound you hope for, and that is the sound where you know that you've got them hooked, and then you can teach them some facts.
One of the things that people wonder about are just kind of like the tech challenges that we face in doing pieces like this. And what we find is like the tech stuff is just, I mean, those are just tools that we use to tell the stories. But the real challenging parts, I think, are figuring out how to tell the story, what the story is, how to tell it, how to get sources to open up, and those kind of things. And I think our training in narrative journalism is really what allowed us to really have success in this area.
If you've got amazing content, it doesn't matter so much. You know, you don't have to have the really expensive, really high quality gear. So if you got, again, it comes back to the content and the story.
Just having a camera and the ability to record those important moments is really key.
Devices are cool, the technology is cool, and blink and there'll be new devices and new technology. What we're talking about here and what you can see in the work is a way of looking at the world. In a time when people are saying everyone and anyone is a journalist because we all carry the instruments that allow us to photograph and write, it becomes increasingly important to really think about what a journalistic story is. There is a foundation to who journalists are and what they do. And our program up here is going to build from that foundation and then across the media.